Hello and welcome to another top 5 countdown video. Last time I did a top 5 most anticipated games of 2019. Today we are going to look at the other side of things. We're going to count down 5 of the biggest games that are coming out next year that might fail. Before we begin, I just want to say that I could be wrong about all of this. This is just my opinion based on stuff.
Number 5!
Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. There's not a lot out there about this game yet, so there's not really much I can say. EA still have the Star Wars video game rights, and there was the whole debacle with Battlefront and Battlefront 2. Do you remember that? That was terrible. So since Star Wars is still there, it's one of those things that could go either way. It is being developed by Respawn though, who did Titanfall 2, and that's one of the best first-person shooters ever. So it could be amazing, but since there's no details out about it right now, and all we have to go on is that EA's overseeing it, that's bad.
Number 4!
Shenmue 3. Don't be mad. Shenmue 1 and Shenmue 2 were some of the most innovative games to come out when they did. They were one of the first big games to do QuickTime events, and they did them really well. Ever since then, they've kind of gone a bit downhill and a bit excessive and a bit rubbish. But Shenmue was one of the games that was at the forefront of QuickTime button technology. The problem is there's been such a big gap between the second and the third one that's coming out in 2019 that I don't know if it's going to hold up. Since then, we've had games like Yakuza, and they've done what Shenmue did, but better. They are very of the time, and some things don't quite click as well. There was Duke Nukem Forever and The Last Guardian. These were games we had to wait almost 10 years for, and by the time they came out, it didn't quite hit the mark. So there is a chance that Shenmue 3 could be in that category as well. I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully though, it'd be nice if it was good.
Number 3!
Anthem, BioWare's latest game. The last one was good, wasn't it? Definitely didn't fuck that one up. So now they're trying their hand at the Destiny-style multiplayer world, loot crate, robots. Everything about this game should excite me. I mean, apart from the multiplayer stuff, I've never been into multiplayer. I said in my last list that anything that makes you feel like a superhero, I'm always in for. And you basically fly around in a suit like Iron Man in this. But it just doesn't look fun. There's a real lack of substance to it, and I think it's just... I don't think there's going to be a massive following behind it. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm not into multiplayer, so maybe I'm wrong here, but I feel like no one's really excited for this. But let me know.
Number 2!
Devil May Cry 5. Right, calm down. Hear me out, right? Technically, there are more bad Devil May Cry games than there are good. Number 1, amazing. Number 2, no. Number 3, yay! Number 4, ooh. Then there was DMC Devil May Cry, remember that? So, it's 3 against 2 right now. I mean, not everyone hated 4, but still. The problem I have with this one, apart from being really confusing, because there was 4, and then they rebooted it, and that went terribly wrong, and now they've just carried on from 5, so that's confusing. But also, I feel like it's just another Devil May Cry game, and that game's been around for a while now, and there's not been a lot of development for the characters. I mean, Nero has a demon arm, and now he has a robot arm, and kind of looks like the Dante from DMC Devil May Cry, which is a bit weird, but everyone's still, it's got that very, I'm a cool guy, I'm doing kicky flips and I've got quips till the fucking sun rises. And then they show Dante and he looks weird. Have you seen him? It's just like, he looks strange. Look at that, it's odd. Look out everyone, Uncle Dante's on a bike and he's got a beard. Last year we had Kratos, who was this mad angry bastard who just wanted to rip people's heads off, and then they took it down a notch and they grounded it in not reality, very much not reality. It was a character you could actually relate to. He was a person and not just a screaming angry thing. And Dante's just still there being Mr. Cool. He's basically Sonic the Hedgehog, and I thought it'd be really cool if they did the same thing that they did with Kratos. He has a beard though. I mean, it's rubbish. It's an awful beard. He looks like he should be on a list of some kind. You know which one I'm talking about. I feel like narratively this isn't going to be anything special. You shouldn't expect much from a game called Devil May Cry where you're a cool demon guy who just wants to flip his sword around. One thing about it though is that the gameplay will be fun. Even DMC Devil May Cry has carved a little cult status because of the gameplay, and the level design was really fun, so there is that. I don't think it's going to fail necessarily. I just don't think it's going to be the return to form that we all deserve. You could add a bit more substance to it and really make it something special, but you know, if all you're looking for is to swing your sword around and carve up a bunch of demons, then I guess we're going to have a good time.
Number 1.
Days Gone. This game looked amazing when it first got announced. Do you remember the trailer they showed at E3 a couple of years back? It looked so cool. I know even then the zombie genre was oversaturated, but this game kind of came out and it showed, I don't know, it looked new. There was like not just a horde of zombies, like a horde of zombies. And there was that really cool gameplay trailer where he was on the roof and they were just like, they were running for him. I was so excited, and then nothing really came out about it, and then it got delayed, I think, and then The Last of Us got announced, and now it's just the Poundland version of The Last of Us that's coming out the same year as The Last of Us. I don't think it's going to pick up the traction that it could have if it come out a couple years ago. I feel like they've missed the mark on it and they've waited too long, and I've seen some gameplay of it and it doesn't quite look as polished. Maybe I'm nitpicking. Maybe I'm entitled. Maybe I'm too entitled and I want amazing graphics. But when you're comparing it to The Last of Us, which of course it's going to, because it seems like it's trying to be The Last of Us, which I was fine with when they didn't announce The Last of Us, because I was like, well, if we're not getting The Last of Us 2, then this is the next best thing. Because when this got announced, I was like, well, that's it then. No, there's definitely no Last of Us, because they're doing this, and this will be the new version of The Last of Us. But now I think it's just going to fail. People aren't going to buy two big, dramatic, serious zombie games. So with a combination of The Last of Us coming out, it being too long since it was announced between it coming out, gameplay doesn't look like it quite holds up, and I think there's a leveling up mechanic which seems kind of tedious in this kind of game, and zombies are very oversaturated anyway. I don't think it's going to make it. I don't think it's going to be a game that we look back on and go, that was good, because we're just going to be, The Last of Us was really good. So there we are, another top 5. Don't be angry. I could be wrong. I might be wrong. I'm open to being wrong. Video games are cool, and if all these games are amazing, then I'll be happy, because I don't like things to fail very often. Subscribe below. I have a Let's Play channel here, and I have more of these videos here. Feel free to check them out. You might like them, you might hate them. Maybe this channel will be on a list of rubbish channels that'll fail in 2019. I hope not, but thank you!